When it comes to SUVs, a significant reboot of one of North America's best-selling models is sure to turn heads. The Honda CR-V 6th generation, as showcased in the 2023 model, boasts a rugged exterior upgrade and a refined interior that competes with the best in its class for driving comfort. While it may not have the glamour of a sports car or supercar, the CR-V is still a force to be reckoned with. Not to be outdone, the 2023 Subaru Forester is also a worthy contender. This SUV has a rugged look and practical cabin that exudes an outdoors and adventurous vibe. Its quiet and comfortable ride will take you to your next camping destination without protest. And since both SUVs offer their own unique advantages and features, it raises the question, which one should you get? Well, let's find out. The 2023 CR-V's new face still looks distinctly like a CR-V. Honda's design team has kept the wide headlight look of the previous model, but with a larger mesh grille that adds a rugged flavor shared with the Ridgeline pickup truck. The upmarket Sport and Sport Touring hybrid models also get more aggressive front and rear fascias. Honda didn't simply upgrade body panels for a beefier appearance. The new CR-V is 2.7 inches longer and nearly half an inch wider than its predecessor. It rides on a wheelbase that's 1.6 inches longer, and while that doesn't sound like much, the change makes the 6th generation CR-V the largest in its segment. Chunky and angular, the Forester's exterior design might not be the most attractive, but its appearance is defined by sharp lines and angles, which gives it a rugged and athletic stance. At the front, a bold hexagonal grille with chrome accents paired with sharp LED headlights that give it a confident and aggressive look. Moving around to the side, the sculpted body features distinctive wheel arches and roof rails that enhance its sporty and adventurous feel. At the rear, you will find large LED taillights, a roof spoiler, and a power liftgate for easy access to the cargo area. Overall, the Subaru Forester's exterior design strikes a balance between form and function, creating a vehicle that is more practical than stylish. But if I had to choose, the CR-V takes the win here. With a whole new exterior comes a whole new interior, or at least new to the CR-V. If you've been in a new Civic, its layout and design will look extremely familiar. The look is clean and uncomplicated. The dash is also low and aids in both visibility and making the cabin feel spacious. All the switchgear feels high quality with tight, solid action, whether it's a turn signal stock or the highly welcome climate control dials. Though there are many plastics, they have attractive finishes and patterns. It's not quite up to the premium feel of the Mazda CX-50 or the CX-5, but it's comparable to Kia Sportage and Hyundai Tucson. As for instruments and infotainment, the CR-V features an analog speedometer combined with a 7-inch screen that can display the tachometer and other information. The standard infotainment display is a 7-inch touchscreen that can use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and on the higher EXL and Sport Touring trims, the CR-V gets a larger 9-inch touchscreen and is capable of wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This new system is far better than the outgoing model, featuring large, attractive, and easy-to-press icons. There are fewer layers of menus and far better reaction times. It's a system that's actually nice to use. As for the Forester, interior materials are acceptable but can't quite match those of the new CR-V. The interior design is function first, with a sensible control layout and visibility that rivals can't easily match. The materials are of good quality, and driving for hours on rutted dirt roads proves that it's all put together well. But don't expect fake wood trim or fake leather applied to the dash and doors. The Forester isn't trying to be something that it isn't. Instead, color is used to spruce things up, with orange in the Sport, copper in the Wilderness, and camel in the Touring trim. As for infotainment, there are 3 sizes of touchscreen available: 7, 8, or 9 inches dependent on the trim level. They all sit high atop the dash, making them easy to see and reach. The 8 and 9-inch units share the same basic, easy-to-operate user interface, but the performance and intuitiveness of the CR-V system is superior. Overall, the new interior of the CR-V is again the winner here. Not only does it feature a more attractive design, but the technology is more intuitive and makes for a more upscale experience. When it comes to interior space, the CR-V has grown significantly with this generation. Sitting in its cabin, it certainly is more spacious and comfortable. The front passengers have lots of leg, knee, and shoulder room. Headroom isn't quite as generous, but there is still enough for most people to be perfectly comfortable. The front seats themselves don't have a huge amount of space, but they have thick padding and a welcome amount of side bolstering. There is a good amount of adjustment too, so a comfortable seating position should be easy to find. As for cargo space, there is 26.3 cubic feet in the back. With the rear seat backs folded, space increases to 76.5 cubic feet. The Forester, on the other hand, lacks a few inches here and some cubic feet there, but it's almost as spacious as the Honda CR-V. The roof is higher, which leads to better headroom both front and rear. Rear seat space is above average, whereas the CR-V is superior by 1.5 inches. But full-size adults and rear-facing child seats still fit comfortably enough. Cargo space is significantly lower here by as much as 10 cubic feet than in the CR-V, with 26.9 cubes on all but the base model. Drop the seats down and you get 69.1 cubes. As far as pricing goes, Honda dropped the LX trim from the CR-V lineup, making the EX entry-level model for 2023. This comes with a price increase. It will start at a whopping $32,355, up from $28,000 starting cost of the 2022 CR-V LX. The top Sport Touring hybrid model costs $40,000. Pricing for the 2023 Forester starts at a far more reasonable $27,500 and comes standard with all-wheel drive. Next is the Premium at $30,500 and tops out with the Touring trim at $37,700. As you can tell, the Forester is cheaper by as much as $5,000 depending on which trim level you compare. Whether the CR-V's higher price tag is justified over the more reasonable Foresters is up to you. But when it comes to just which SUV is superior, we still think the CR-V is worth the price. When it comes to on-road performance, it's here where the downsides of the Forester begin. It can only be had with a 2.5-liter boxer 4-cylinder engine, good for 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque, which is low for the segment. It is exclusively paired to all-wheel drive and a CVT transmission, which somewhat simulates the gear shifts of a normal automatic. Its sit ratios are altered in the wilderness trim level for sharper response and performance better suited for driving off-road. When on-road, the Forester is pretty dull. The steering is numb and its turning off center is anything but crisp. The handling, capable and confidence-inspiring, but if you're looking for responsive and engaging, look elsewhere. Forgivably, for a crossover of this caliber, the Forester isn't quick at all by modern car standards, but should be fine for most normal driving. Other vehicles in this space offer newer Turbo 4s or hybrid options with more low-end torque and better fuel economy, but Subaru has stuck to the old school, unassisted gas motor. At the end of the day, though, the Forester goes where you point it, rides comfortably on the highway and over potholes, has seats that are quite relaxing to be in. The road and wind noise aren't noticeably worse than any other vehicle of this type. There is more than enough room for big Costco runs and to fit actual adults in the second row, and the brake pedal is nice and friendly. And if that's all you require out of your compact crossover's driving experience, the Forester will probably do okay. The CR-V, on the other hand, uses a turbocharged 1.5-liter inline-4, which still makes 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Its CVT automatic does a better job at simulating a normal automatic's gear changes, but it feels a bit sluggish around town. The powertrain is quieter overall at least, and its 30 mpg combined fuel economy rating seems easy to beat. However those numbers look though, they can't capture just how much better the on-road experience is in the Honda versus nearly all of its competitive set. Whether you compare it to the Forester, Kia Sportage, or the Volkswagen Tiguan, it just shines above them all. Here is the long and short of it. With the exception of the Kia Sportage Hybrid, the CR-V is the easy choice from a driving perspective. Every brand's compact SUV has some kind of competitive IP, a bit more space, more power, slightly better NVH, etc. But as an all-around proposition, Honda really has this nailed, despite its higher price tag. If, however, you want all-wheel drive at a very reasonable price, then the Forester is your best bet.